Hi YouTube, this is Team 13. Team 13 comprises of V, Lamb, Kelby, Oliphant, and Harmony Tran. Today we're going to be explaining Braess paradox. Braess paradox is stated as follows. For each point of a road network, let there be given the number of cars starting from it and the destination of the cars. Under these conditions, one wishes to estimate the distribution of traffic flow. Whether one street is preferable to another depends not only on the quality of the road, but also on the density of the flow. If every driver takes the path that looks most favorable to him, the resultant running times need not be minimal. Furthermore, it is indicated by an example that an extension of the road network may cause a redistribution of the traffic that results in longer individual running time. An example. Braess paradox challenges the Nash equilibrium and suggests that travelers have no incentive to change routes. Consider a road network as shown in the diagram, on which 4,000 drivers wish to travel from point start to end. The travel time in minutes on the start A road is the number of travelers T divided by 100, and on start B is a constant 45 minutes, likewise with the roads across from them. If the dash roads do not exist, so the traffic network has 4 roads in total, the time needed to drive start A end route with A drivers would be 10 minutes. And the time needed to drive the start B end route with B drivers would be 20 minutes. If either route were shorter, it would not be a Nash equilibrium. The start B end route with B drivers would be 20 minutes. If either route were shorter, it would not be a Nash equilibrium. A rational driver would switch routes from the longer route to the shorter route. As there are 4,000 drivers, the fact that B can now be used to drive the fact that when the system is at equilibrium, each route takes 20 minutes.
Now let's take a look at Braess paradox. My example uses a traditional scenario, automobile traffic, but I also described how the paradox maps more broadly to software testing and other situations. The original work for Braess's paradox is Über ein Paradox der Verkehrsplanik by Dietrich Braess. My example, however, is based upon several examples I found that were, in turn, based on examples attributed to Mark Wainwright. I was unable personally to locate Wainwright's original work. Braess's paradox is quite complex, so I present a simplified, discrete approximation rather than the full problem. Suppose there are 4 towns. Town A, Town B, Town C, and Town D, as shown in Figure 5. Each road connecting any 2 of the towns has an associated cost given by the equation shown next to the road in the figure. The cost is a function of the number of cars on the road. This is represented by N. You can imagine that the cost represents the time it takes to travel the road, or the amount of gasoline required, or some other factor that you'd like to minimize. Now suppose that each morning there are 6 cars that leave town A, one at a time, and all are headed to town D. Car 1 leaves and has a completely open road. The car has 2 routes to choose from, A, B, D, or A, C, D. The cost of A, B, D is 4 times 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 16, which is equal to 22. Because of the symmetry in the map, the cost of route ACD is also 22. Let's assume that car 1 selects route A, B, D and starts on its way. Now let's examine car 2. Let's assume that car 2 also has an open road. The card has two routes to choose from, A, B, D, or A, C, D. The cost of A, C, D is 1 plus 16 plus 4 times 1 plus 1, which is also equal to 22. Because of the symmetry in the map, the cost of route A, B, D is also 22. Let's assume that car 2, unlike car 1, chooses route A, C, D and starts on his way. Now let's take a look at car 3. And let's assume that car 3 can also start on a completely open road. As we have just demonstrated between car 1 and car 2, it does not matter which route car 3 chooses. As was demonstrated by car 1 and car 2, the cost of either route is 22. Let's assume that car 3 chooses route A, B, D and starts on his way. In an urban area with a lot of traffic, adding a new road to distribute the traffic may seem like a sensible idea. According to the Braess paradox, just the opposite occurs. A new route added in the transportation network increases the travel times of all individual travelers. Formulated in 1968 by Braess, the paradox is not a true paradox, but rather a counterintuitive finding regarding an everyday situation. In the past few years, however, scientists have reanalyzed the Braess paradox and found that it stops occurring as the demand for travel increases. Scientists have hypothesized that under high demands, the new route is no longer used due to a width of crowds effect.
We're excited for this project. Our works cited for this project included the Wikipedia article on Braess paradox located at http://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Braess paradox, a Microsoft article on Braess paradox located at http://msdn.microsoft.com/en/cc163693.aspx, and a Homeland Security Newswire article located at http://www.homelandsecurity.newswire.com/Braess paradox disappears under high traffic demand. Thank you.